The Minecraft code kinda sucks, and I'm gonna show you why. This all started when one of the members of my server needed copper to build our town hall, and she needed lots of it, so I needed to build her a farm. I decided to use ENX04's next-gen copper farm that uses an interesting mechanic known as zombie reinforcement. This is a mechanic unique to zombies that allows them to spawn more zombies upon taking damage. So I went ahead and gathered up all the materials that I needed to make the farm. And after that, I put the whole thing together in the end. If you haven't already watched ENX04's video, you should totally check it out. It was a huge inspiration for this video. Finally, once it was built, I lured in some zombies, got them inside of the farm, and I was ready to give it a try. And after hitting some zombies for a while, this is what I saw. Now, if you're like me, you may have noticed the weird plus shape that these zombies are spawning in, and I was curious about that, so I decided to take a look at the Minecraft source code. What I found kind of surprised me, and it's why I made this video. Why don't we take a look? What we're looking at here is the code for the Minecraft zombie, and specifically, its hurt method. Note, it takes in a damager and damage input. Zombie reinforcements can only spawn if the Minecraft difficulty is on hard, as we can see by this first if statement. Next, the game creates a random value and compares it to that zombie's spawn reinforcement chance attribute. This is a value given to the zombie when it spawns. This ranges from 0 to 10% for most zombies, but can go up to 85% for zombie leaders. Finally, it checks if mob spawning is enabled. If all three of these things pass, then we will try to spawn reinforcements. Now let's step inside of this if statement. This for loop is going to make 50 attempts to spawn our zombie. Now here's where things get a little bit weird. We'd expect the zombies to spawn in a more or less random distribution like shown above. However, this is not what we see. Let's take a look at the farm again. The zombies are spawning along the major axes around the original zombie, and this is because Mojang is a little bit lazy with their code. Here's the code used to generate the X, Y, and Z coordinate for the zombie. It generates a random integer from 7 to 40 and then multiplies that by a random integer from -1 to 1. This gives us three regions, the region of negative numbers, the region that's all zeros, and the region of positive numbers. Since -1, 0, and 1 are all equally likely to be chosen, each of these regions has a 1 in 3 chance of being selected. On a number line, this looks like this. But that's just for one number. We can expand this into two dimensions, x and y. Now, instead of a number line, we're left with a plane that has some ranges of possible values. Just like the number line had regions determined by whether it was -1, 0, or 1, the 2D version does as well. Under the same principle I mentioned earlier, all of these have an even chance of being selected. Looking back at the farm design, we can actually overlay this plane on top of the zombie spawning. We can see that this matches their spawning pattern a lot more than the random distribution earlier did. Now, Minecraft is a 3D game, so the actual spawning zone looks more like this. 27 zones, each with an equal chance of spawn. Since each region has an equal chance of spawning a zombie, and some of the regions are much smaller, we're naturally going to see more zombies in the smaller regions just because we're getting more zombies per block. Note that the region at the very center cannot spawn any zombies because it's inside of the original zombie. Now, the natural question that arises from this is, why? Why is it programmed this way? And the real reason is that it just was. The programmer made it this way, and it was just good enough, so they kept it. If I were to implement this feature myself, I would have done it a little differently. Take this time to pause the video and see if you can figure out the implementation yourself as shown above. The best solution is pretty cool. First, we generate 3 random values. 2 between -40 and 40, and 1 that avoids the range -6 to 6. We can do this by choosing a random number between 7 and 40, and randomly flipping its sign. Next, we just assign these 3 values to x, y, and z randomly. Here's an example of some code that would do that. We can assign the values using a variety of methods, but in this case the brute force method is fine. Choosing these values in this way ensures that the point is not within 7 blocks, but is less than 40 blocks. And more importantly, it means that every single block has an equal chance of being chosen as a spawn zone. Now, is this solution objectively more correct than Mojang's solution? Yes, it leads to a more expected and intended result. Now, is this solution better than Mojang's solution? That one's not so easy to answer. See, Mojang's kind of famous for poorly programming things and then later getting those things rebranded as features as the community finds new ways to use them. Take quasi-connectivity for example. It's clearly a bug, it's not intended, yet it's a staple of Java Redstone. Even creepers, which make up the face for Minecraft's brand, were an accident. And yeah, Mojang could probably write cleaner code, but honestly, I kind of love that they don't. It's these little quirks, things like TNT duping, quasi-connectivity, entity separation, that make a lot of technical Minecraft possible. Things that only make sense because they've been broken for a decade. At this point, most bugs aren't unexpected or frustrating. They're just tradition. If you like videos in this style and want to see more like it, please let me know in the comments. Videos like this are a lot of work, but also a lot of fun to make. Thanks for watching.